Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into our latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumor here on a Monday. A lot is going on. Let's go ahead and jump right into, how about the Kyler Murray discussion that's been happening not only inside NFL locker rooms, or at least NFL front offices, but Twitter most notably as well. Pro Football Talk had this report a couple of days ago, basically saying the Eagles could be interested in trading for Kyler Murray. Now, this all comes from the fact that Kyler Murray, according to multiple reports, essentially unhappy with the fact he does not have a new deal. He's still on his rookie contract with the Arizona Cardinals. He might sit out the entire season. He might hold out of training camp. Basically, he wants more money, and the Cardinals have yet to go ahead and, oblige to that request, or done that request, I should say. And so, with no new deal, Kyler Murray might not play. Therefore, the trade stuff gets a lot heavier, I would say, a lot more interesting, and definitely something to go ahead and talk about on today's video. So, of course, the Eagles have expressed plenty of, I would say, desire for a quarterback this season, or at least reportedly, right? They didn't make any moves. They backed Jalen Hurts. We've talked about that. However, there were reports they were interested in Russell Wilson. There were reports they were interested in Deshaun Watson, and yet none of those things actually came true. So how interested were they actually, right? That's the question. Here was Pro Football Talk's quote. Again, we're going to center the video on this here, basically saying Philadelphia's interested. Here it is. Quote, most obvious candidates would be the three finalists for Deshaun Watson, who didn't get the new Browns quarterback, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints. This assumes that each of those teams would be okay when the quarterback was on the very short side by NFL starting quarterback standards. The Eagles possibly would be interested, end quote. Now, what's that based off of? No sources. Sources said the Eagles could be interested. No, it's Pro Football Talk saying the Eagles would possibly be interested, which is just based on the fact the Eagles have first-round draft picks and Jalen Hurts is their quarterback, right? Here's my thought. Kyler isn't elite yet. Okay, I like Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's played some very good football. I think he's a very good quarterback, and I think he can become an elite quarterback in the NFL, and at times has played at that level. But he's not elite yet, and whether you like Deshaun Watson or not for his off-the-field issues, on the football field, Deshaun Watson was an elite quarterback, at least the last time that we saw him out there with a good team around him in Houston. Kyler's not elite yet, and so this idea that, you gotta trade for Kyler Murray because he's much better than Jalen Hurts, to me, I don't buy it. Like, seriously, I don't buy it just yet. Can Kyler Murray eventually become the same, or on the same level as Josh Allen, or on the same level as Patrick Mahomes? I don't know. Now, can Jalen Hurts become that? I don't know. But I would much rather ride with Jalen Hurts. Why? Say it with me. Because you keep your first-round draft picks. Plus, Jalen Hurts is not due for a new deal at least until 2023. And you can still kind of, figure out if Hurts is good or not this year before you actually pay him a bunch of money. Kyler, if you traded for him right now, Kyler wants money right now. I mean, Kyler, you have to trade for him and make him one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Plus, there were those reports saying he's kind of a locker room issue. One thing about Jalen Hurts, not a locker room issue. They love him in that locker room in Philadelphia. Everything I've read is that they are absolutely in on Jalen Hurts as a leader for the organization. So, it's fun to throw it out there and be like, oh, well, Kyler Murray wants to trade. Oh, well, maybe Philadelphia could trade for him. But I see no true reporting on this besides Pro Football Talk saying the Eagles possibly would be interested. Other than that, there's nothing there. Philadelphia's going to ride with Jalen Hurts. If Kyler Murray does get traded, I don't think it would be to Philadelphia, and so I am not worried about that one bit. Answer the question down below, because the expectation is you have to trade multiple first-round draft picks for him, so let's just throw it out there. Would you trade 3 first-round draft picks for Kyler Murray, yes or no? Like, straight up. I mean, seriously, 3 first-round draft picks. I'm typing N for no, but I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Let's move on here to ESPN's latest article regarding our Philadelphia Eagles, where writer Jordan Reed created the perfect 7-round mock draft for all the Eagles' needs. Fascinating read on ESPN Plus, talking about why this player versus that player. But we're just going to dive right into the 10 picks here in just 1 second. Now, it's important to note this is a full 7-round mock draft, so 10 draft picks here. And, of course, doesn't have a lot of trades. I think Philadelphia is going to move up and down the draft, and so we'll see how accurate this thing actually is. But I will say this, with the draft less than 2 weeks away, I mean, literally this Thursday will be 1 week away. Expect Howie Roseman to be crazy on draft day. I think he's going to go nuts in the first 3 rounds. It's going to be really fun to watch. Here we go. Let's just go ahead and jump into this in just 1 second. First, you guys should definitely watch our draft coverage in terms of what's happening the next couple of days and weeks here, because we do it better than anybody else here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Daily draft coverage, NFL draft coverage, interactive content. We read your comments, we react with your comments, 100% free. And if you guys want to be subscribed, go down and hit the red button. If you already are a subscriber, type ME down below if you guys are subs. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Plenty of good reasons why, most notably because it's free and it's good content. Hit that red button. Let's get to 30,000 by the start of the draft, right? Is that easy enough? Let's see. Okay, let's jump into these picks here. We'll go 1 through 10. Via the ESPN mock draft. 15 is Jameson Williams. That's fine. I mean, that's something that I think a lot of people expect is that a wide receiver goes early. 18 is Andre Booth. If you haven't watched a lot of Andre Booth out of Clemson, the film's not bad. Very good tackler. Not as good as Trent McDuffie, the best tackling cornerback in this draft, but a very good tackler and a good cover guy in the ACC. 3rd round, Drake Jackson, the edge out of USC. Mentioned him a little bit. He's not starter ready, but he's one of those Josh Sweat type guys who could come in and after a couple of years be really, really good. Troy Anderson, the linebacker to Montana State there at 83. I haven't watched a lot of Troy Anderson tape. I know he's a tackling machine up there. Not a lot of emphasis on linebacker early, though, in this draft. Third round is a little bit of a wait for me, but either way. And then Kirby Joseph, the safety out of Illinois, via the trade with New Orleans, 101 overall. You add a safety, but Joseph, again, is the NFL starter ready week 1. You're not going to go ahead and see a Tyrann Mathieu. That one doesn't make a lot of sense to me. A little bit late for a safety. Let's go here to the later round draft picks. Matthew Butler, the D-tackle out of Tennessee. Very clearly some depth there for the Fletcher Cox situation, that this is Fletcher Cox's final year. Hassan Haskins, I had him in my mock draft, the running back out of Michigan. I think Haskins makes some sense here. I think that they need to get a third running back. We got Boston Scott, but an additional running back would not hurt. Tariq Castro-Fields, another cornerback out of Penn State, or a cornerback out of Penn State. Very late for a cornerback here. You're really that high on Zach McPherson? I guess so, based on this mock draft. Amari Barno, the edge outside linebacker out of Virginia Tech, very late, 166, so, obviously not a starter. And Ryan Van DeMark, the tackle out of UConn, adds some offensive line. Curious, you only take one lineman the entire draft, not very Howie Roseman-esque, but I guess your lineman is already pretty good. There's this mock draft. It's interesting, at least. I don't know if it's that great. Grade this mock draft for the Eagles, A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think? I'll give you my grade in a second. I want to give you guys some time to go down below and grade the mock A, B, C, D, or F. Here's the deal. I don't hate this mock, but it's like a B-, maybe a C+. Like, there are some moves. Jameson Williams makes sense. I think it's fine. I'm very curious to see who else would be available at 15 overall. Andre Booth, though, at 18. I mentioned earlier that, of course, you mentioned the Castro-Fields cornerback out of Penn State. They did get Booth in the first round, so they at least add some cornerback depth there in terms of having a starter. But I think there are better options than Andre Booth. And it's like, man, you don't get a linebacker. You wait till the second round to get an edge rusher, and it's not my favorite edge rusher. It's just an okay mock. Like, if this was the actual draft that Howie Roseman pulled off, it'd be like, okay. But I've seen some other mock drafts, especially my own mock drafts, that can be a lot better. So either way, I don't hate it, but it's not necessarily my favorite thing in the entire world. All right, we'll get into our final story here about Kenny Gainwell in just one second. First, shout out to our friends at BetUS. Do you guys bet on the Sixer game yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before? I forget. Either way, the Sixers rolled Toronto there in the first game. That might be a sweep. I mean, they could easily sweep Toronto in that first round. And B looked fantastic. If you guys want to bet on that game or bet on other NBA playoff games, do have our friends at BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Eagles125. Get you 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. And you can bet on the NBA playoffs. So do it on the link on our screen. Use the promo code and jump into a really great betting platform if you guys want to bet on the NBA. All right, final story here quickly comes via the Philadelphia Inquirer. They had a very in-depth article regarding Kenny Gainwell and what he looks like he's going to be doing in year 2. And a really good quote to start us off here for our final story. Quote, Kenny Gainwell said, "I'm trying to go into year 2 and go crazy. Year 1 was good for me, but I feel like Coach Sirianni, he knows what he got out of me. I'm coming back and I'm going to go off." End quote. Very similar quotes to what you heard from Miles Sanders, so at least you got 2 motivated running backs back there to hopefully stay healthy and be very productive in 2022. Gainwell was very good. I mean, 5th-round draft pick, he did a great job. 68 carries, so not a ton of work, almost 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had a nose for the end zone, 253 receiving yards as well, so, right around 600 scrimmage yards, that's fine. I mean, I have no issues with that. And the question is going to be, how do you split this workload? That's the serious thing, because you have 2 really good young running backs in Sanders and Gainwell. You have Boston Scott, who he just hangs around. He just plays good football. And the great equalizing factor of injuries being a big problem for Philadelphia, the running back spot the past couple of years. I don't know what the running back depth chart is going to look like in terms of carries, but I do know you have some young guys who are very, very hungry to get reps and prove that they are, worthy of, for Sanders' case, a new contract. For Gainwell's case, more playing time. It's going to be a fun overall offseason, and I'm very excited. Or overall season, I should say. And I think Gainwell is going to be really good in year 2. Hopefully he does go off. Seriously. I'll end on this. Type 1-4 to show Kenny Gainwell some love down below in the comment section. We actually typed 2-6 for Miles Sanders last week. How about some 1-4 action for old Gainwell, as he was a really good draft pick. The fact he fell all the way to us was absolutely fantastic. Show him some love down below. Our alternative day on our Philadelphia Eagles news and rumor video, mailbag video happening later on this week. So if you guys want to get ahead of the game, be a subscriber, hashtag Eagles down below in the comment section, and ask any sort of Eagle-related question that you guys want. All right, again, alternative day on our Monday video, getting started on another week for Philadelphia Eagles Now. Thomas Mott signing off. To the rest of your day.